You're not gonna make it. No, you ain't gonna make it. You're not gonna make it, but you can. Welcome to You're Not Gonna Make It, where I discuss threats to your physical and mental health, and find ways to deal with them too. I'm your host, Kevin. What if I told you that your protein bar, your oat milk latte, your kale salad are exactly why you're still 30 pounds overweight? But not because they're bad, but because you're eating them wrong. I'm going to list 69 or so foods that everyone says, oh my God, they're so healthy, but they're actually holding you back and keeping you kind of fat. And then I'm going to give you 3 rules to replace all that bullshit. By the way, subscribe or else. Let's start where tech workers and a lot of people mess up. And that's breakfast, first thing in the morning. Most people skip breakfast, which is fine if you're not going to overeat later, which you probably are. So maybe you should eat some breakfast. But if you do, you might be making the mistake of eating something healthy. Like let's say a lot of granola, oatmeals, smoothie bowls, almond butter, toast, protein bars for some of you. Now, these things aren't bad, as you can guess, but if you're eating them first thing in the morning to make you full, that's not going to work. Almost all of these lack enough protein to satisfy you. So if you're eating this at 8 a.m., you're probably going to be hungry by 9:30. And then when you're at the office or when you're at home, you go for the snacks. I'm talking the Kind bars, RX bars, almonds, mixed nuts, trail mix, dried fruit, protein chips, veggie chips. Now, as is the theme here, these aren't bad on their own. In fact, I love some of this stuff. RX bars are great. Veggie chips are awesome. Even the veggie straws, I love those. But the thing is, these are designed to be eaten in one sitting. They're snacks, but you're eating a shit ton of them because they're not very satisfying. And the portions are all fucked up. You ever look at the back of these snacks and they're like, oh, it's only 100 calories per serving. Wow. And then you look a bit closer and it says 4 servings per bag. I'm like, what the fuck? I used to eat those Lenny and Larry cookies, the big fat protein cookies before. And I'd look at the back and I see, oh, yeah, like 220 calories. Pretty good, pretty good. Took me a few times to realize in the back, 2 servings per cookie. I'm like, what? Fuck, this is 440? I mean, at this point, it's not worth it. So I don't really eat those anymore. But that's the case with a lot of snacks. The actual snack serving is actually really small. And it's made that way. It's like this small thing that tastes pretty good. They want you to eat a shit ton of it. Why? So you can feel like you're eating a snack and it's not much, but you're actually eating a shit ton of calories. So then you can feel fat and you can be like, oh, wow, I guess I need to just, snack a little smarter. And you get their other product, then you just eat that without realizing the servings and the cycle. So snack responsibly. All right, let's talk about beverages, what you drink. This is where most people fuck up. This is where a lot of people take in way too many calories without realizing it. The worst offender is obviously coffee. Now, if you're drinking, black coffee in the morning, you love caffeine for some reason. I think a black coffee is like 5 to 10 calories if you don't add anything to it. If I'm not mistaken, it's not bad. But what most people do is they go to Starbucks, they go to Dunkin' Donuts, they get the parfaits, basically, whatever they're actually called. Which, if you understand what it is and you're down for it, have fun. But if you're deluding yourself and saying, oh, just a coffee in the morning, it's nothing, it's something. So a lot of beverages that people mess up on are these oat milk lattes. Oh, oat milk, it's so much better because it's oat milk. Protein shakes, most of them have a shit ton of sugar in them. Same goes for smoothies, green juice, all this other shit. Basically, you're drinking in a lot of sugar. Now, sugar isn't necessarily bad. Fruits are full of sugar. Fruits are great. Thing is, your body really likes sugar. Your brain's like, oh, give me more of that. So when you're drinking a bunch of sugar, first of all, sugars are carbohydrates, which compared to proteins and fats are not as filling, and they taste pretty good. So your body's like, I love it. I'm going to keep consuming it, and I'm not getting full. So I'm going to keep consuming it. Every chug is like 45 calories. Just boom, 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 boom. So you can imagine it's not great if you're overweight and trying to not be overweight. Most people are getting in like 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 600 calories through just drinking stuff. Seriously, think about it. Next time you just pick up a soda or whatever, look at the back. If it's not a zero or a sugar-free, whatever it is, it's probably going to be over 200 calories for that thing. Now, if you can fit in your budget, that can be okay. But if you're wondering, why am I not losing weight? You're drinking a shit ton of calories. You're filling up your budget with empty stuff that does not fill you. And then lunchtime hits. You go to fucking McDonald's. You go to whatever. You pick the healthy option at McDonald's. You pick the fucking salad at McDonald's. Or the salad somewhere else, which, yeah, I'll get into the salads a bit later, but you're going for a quote-unquote healthy option for lunch. So you might go for veggie burgers, Beyond Meat, tuna salad, quinoa bowls. Now, most of this stuff can be part of a good diet. The thing is, a lot of it is calorie dense as hell without you realizing it. And in the case of veggie burgers and Beyond Meat, they're mostly ultra-processed, which means that they're not going to fill you very well, especially because they're not real protein most of the time. It's mixed in with other stuff. And I'm not saying, hey, vegans, get fucked, eat a cow. I'm saying if you're going this route with a burger replacement, just know a lot of times it's not meant for health or filling you up. It's just meant to kind of replace the feel or taste of meat. That's the main priority. Can we trick these fatties into thinking this is a real chicken nugget or a real burger? Cool, do that. Whatever you got to do. That's the main goal of that. So there are trade-offs. It's not going to be super filling. It's probably not going to be healthy either. For tuna salad, a lot of it's just filled with mayo. And don't get me wrong, mayonnaise tastes good, but a lot of it is it's just oil, which can be okay, but it's high as fuck in fat, which means it's high in calories because each gram of fat has 9 calories. So chill. Let's get into salads in earnest. So you got Caesar salad, kale salad, Greek salad, Cobb salad, all these salads. Now you might be thinking, Kevin, what the fuck are you talking about? Salads are awesome. They're low calorie. They're great for you. Yes, if you use the correct dressing, they can be. If you don't sprinkle them with bacon, they can be great. Thing is, most people are like, ugh, vegetables, they're boring, ugh. So you just dunk a bunch of fucking creamy shit on it that gives it flavor. To the point where you're eating dressing with a side of soggy green stuff in it. If you took a salad that was, let's say, 560 calories, and you remove the dressing from it, the normal kind of dressing where it's like ranch or Thousand Island or whatever the normal creamy ones are, that salad would probably be almost definitely less than half of that many calories. I personally would recommend like a vinaigrette or balsamic type of dressing where it's pretty minimal. Because at that point, it's almost free calories. Like obviously the dressing adds a bit to it even then, right? But if we're talking lettuce and the other stuff, it's so low calorie. It gives you so much fiber and fills you up. It's just you kill it. When you douse that shit in that weird dressing, you kill the whole point of it. You just add a shit ton of fat and calories to it. Which, if you love, that's cool. But just know, you're filling up your daily calorie budget with stuff it's not very helpful in terms of making you full. And then this is related to snacks, but we're going to talk about desserts, sweets, the snacks that you don't kid yourself into thinking are good. I'm talking dark chocolate, protein cookies, those energy balls, drinking honey, which some people do. Like all of this can be fine, right? The thing is, this basically falls under the snacks category, but with way more sugar, which means way more extra carbohydrates, which do not fill you up. And that is the main takeaway from all these foods that I'm listing. Due to marketing or whatever it is, you think, oh, these are good. If I eat these, I will lose weight. The thing is, the way that these foods are or what they come with, they add a shit ton of calories and they remove a lot of satiety. So not only are you messing up your calorie budget, but you don't feel full. If you fill up your calorie budget and you feel full, That's great. That is ideal, actually. But if you're piling on the calories and you're still hungry, you fucked up somewhere in your food choices. Or rather, you chose the non-ideal options when it comes to food. And now you're going to suffer for it by either feeling hungry or resisting all day. Oh my God, I need to eat more. Or just giving in and eating a bunch and then feeling bad. And some of the stuff that's marketed is very good. Like I said, these energy balls or protein cookies or whatever. They're mostly, oftentimes they're just candy and they just have a little more protein in it. Seriously, go to the store, look at something that says, oh, high protein. Check the back before you buy it. Usually it's going to be like 4 grams, 6 grams of protein for whatever it is. If you're lucky, maybe you even get a double digit. You get a 12 grams or something. But most of the time, it's not worth all the excess calories and sugar that it gives you. The issue with a lot of this stuff is that many people kid themselves into thinking this is the ideal way to lose weight. Marketing says this is high protein, which means I lose weight because protein equals healthy and good. Now, protein usually does equal healthy and good. Thing is that they're giving you this good thing on top of a wheelbarrow of shit. All right, shit is too rough. But they're giving you a bunch of stuff that you didn't ask for. That's not helpful. Actually goes against your goal. All right, so everything sucks, whatever, right? Or rather, the way that you're using all this food, it's not ideal, right? A lot of it is actually pretty good. But it's like a Trojan horse coming in with a bunch of, it's like, oh, it looks cool, but on the inside, it's just, an extra 300 calories. So I'm going to give you 3 rules that if you follow them, they can only help. You don't have to follow them to the T, but keep them in mind when you're thinking about foods in regards to weight loss. Rule number 1, if it doesn't have 15 grams of protein and it's under 200 calories, consider it a snack, not a meal. A meal is something that keeps you full for 3 to 4 hours or more. A snack will barely last you an hour. And you want to keep this in mind because if you're eating snacks all day, you're probably not getting enough nutrients. And you're probably never satisfied at any given time. You're just always filling up the next snack window. If you can find foods that have a lot of protein, still under 200 calories, like chicken, for example. The protein to calorie ratio of chicken is great. I really recommend eating chicken, good chicken, not KFC. Rule number 2, if it's a liquid, it better be thick with protein. Otherwise, you're just drinking a milkshake. Now, there's some exceptions. I personally like kombucha quite a bit. It's pretty low calorie. Fermented, it's good stuff. But for the most part, I drink water. If you're drinking something else, let's say you're drinking soda. That has a shit ton of calories, gives you pretty much nothing in terms of nutrition. Versus you drink a protein shake. It can have 240 calories, just like soda, or more. But it'll have a bunch of protein in it, probably some fats as well, some carbohydrates. So it's substantial. It'll fill you more than drinking just a juice or soda. So if you're going to drink your calories, make sure it's substantial. If what you're drinking is not substantial in terms of nutrients, those calories will be very empty. I'd just stick with water at that point. So those coffees you get at Dunkin' Donuts or whatever, that doesn't count. You get basically nothing besides, I guess, a sugar rush, right? And some good taste, I assume. I don't think I've ever had any of those. I assume it tastes good, otherwise people wouldn't buy it. But you're just drinking your calories there. You're just saying, hey, I want this good taste, and I'm fine if it takes out about 500 calories out of my budget. Totally cool. If you're okay with that, awesome. Rule number 3, if it tastes like a dessert and it comes in a box at the grocery store, it's probably a dessert, not anything substantial in terms of nutrition. So eat it if you want, have fun, but make sure it counts. Some people, they're crazy. They're madmen who they don't count their desserts. They're tracking their calories, or they're generally keeping track of their food, but they're like, little dessert here doesn't count. I'm not going to keep track of that. Now, if you have no way to track this shit, you're like, I'll just take the hit. I'll take the L, whatever it is, fucking whatever. I can't track this. I don't even know how to look this up. That's one thing. I mean, you can always try to look something up. But that's one thing. But some people, they're actually wild. They're like, I'm going to keep track of everything, but this thing, I'm not going to track that. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. Because most of the time, you are undoing the calorie deficit for that day with that thing that you're not tracking, and you don't even know. So you can have them, but just don't pretend they're great for you in any way besides taste. So if you're gonna eat them, just plan for them. Like me with my recent pita chip addiction. It's not really a dessert, but I'd buy a bunch of pita chips and I'd eat a lot of them. Like it would be hundreds of calories per day. There's some days where it'd be like 600 calories of just pita chips and hummus. Not fantastic, but I kept track of it. I knew what was going on. So I knew the rest of the day I need to get a bunch more protein and other stuff. So that stuff is not ideal, but if you keep track of it, you can plan for it and still make way on your goal. But if halfway through your day you randomly eat, sure, I'll have like 3 slices of cake, your plan's fucked. But if you know ahead of time, hey, I'm probably gonna eat some cake later, and you leave room in there, you adjust your nutrients and stuff like that, and then you eat the cake and you track it, whatever, that's guilt-free. You know what's going on, you plan for it, you're enjoying it, cool. In my honest opinion, there aren't really many bad foods, like truly bad. I consider them more being bad bang for buck in terms of what your goal is. So a lot of the foods that I talked about, they can be pretty good as part of your diet. But the way that you get them, you got to be careful, because a lot of times, like I said, you might get some of the good stuff, but there's a shit ton of extra stuff that will make it harder for you to lose that weight. As in giving you a bunch of sugar, bunch of calories, no satisfaction. And if you're crazy, you can eat a bunch of just desserts and snacks all day and still lose weight. It's just a matter of the calories, but you're going to feel fucking bad. You're not going to feel good at all. You're not going to get anything out of those snacks, really. Just the good taste, just a good feeling while you're eating it. But that good feeling is not going to last because you have no fucking nutrients inside you. So I recommend eating a buttload of high fiber foods, high protein foods. Most foods are not just, it's just all protein, all carbohydrates, all fats. They have a mix. So aim for high protein foods, and you're going to get your fats in there. You're going to get your carbohydrates in there. Fiber is a carbohydrate. You're eating foods high in fiber, you're going to get your carbohydrates. So focus on those, like chicken, vegetables. Like you know what to eat. Don't be silly. I just don't want you to get fooled by the marketing for a lot of this stuff. Like the guys who eat Pop-Tarts thinking, oh man, their carbs, they're good, I need them for energy. Fuck off. I mean, eat them if you like them and they taste good. But just keep in mind, as part of your day's diet, that is the obvious weak point. And you can do better. Let me know in the comments. Do you eat Pop-Tarts? Do you eat, there's this energy ball thing I used to eat. It had PB&J. I think they were called Fruz balls. Those are pretty good, but looking back, it's mostly sugar, kind of high in calories. Well, not very high in calories, actually, but no, it wasn't worth it. Anyway, subscribe or you're not going to make it. See you next time.